I love the energy, the enthusiasm. Only one.
This is Utah Tech football and the Lance Anderson Coaches Show.
A lot of good work. I'm really proud of you guys. And hi there again, everybody. Rod Zundel here, along with the head coach of Utah Tech, Lance Anderson. Welcome to the Lance Anderson Coaches Show. Trailblazers getting ready for a return home to Greater Zion Stadium this Saturday in northern Iowa. We'll be in town for a 6 o'clock kickoff. And, Coach, before we look ahead, let's look back to Idaho and the Kibbie Dome in Moscow on Saturday. That was a slugfest. Defensive struggle, 20-6 was your final. You had chances. But, man, that was just a physical snocker fest.
Yeah, really physical football game against a good, highly ranked team. I mean, again, we hung in there. We had our chance in the fourth quarter to go tie the game up or maybe take the lead. So, again, I appreciate the way the guys are fighting, the way they're competing. Now we just need to finish these games.
In the fourth quarter, you had the football down 7, a chance to win like you have in the first 2 games. It's there for the taking.
Oh, exactly. We are right there. Just a little bit better execution, a little bit more effort, and we're there. And that's what we're gonna earn in practice this week.
Okay, let's go right to the highlights Saturday. First quarter, they opened up the game on an 8.5-minute drive. You only had the ball 50 seconds in the first quarter. Tough to get a rhythm here, but you still tried and got some pretty good shots.
Yeah, exactly. On that first drive, we had chances on defense to get off the field on third downs. Just needed to do that so we could give the offense the ball a little bit more.
Then you got the ball you were down 10-0, and then 17 seconds left. 2 plays, you got into field goal position.
Yeah, tremendous run here by Reggie Graff to get a big chunk of yards, and that allowed us to be aggressive here. Go to a screen here to Asa Chapman to try to get into field goal range. And Asa makes a really smart play here to get down to give us that shot at the field goal.
So in 2 plays, you went from your own 25 to about the 34-yard line. So bring on Ilya Vidov, hit a 55-yard field goal. And watch the officials. They're looking at it. They're not making a call. They're trying to decide what call should they make. And they said it was no good. And your reaction was priceless. What is going on?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious to all of us that went in.
Yeah.
It's just the official there underneath the goalpost didn't see it. But
yeah.
Thank goodness for replay.
Replay, and they did it. You were only down 10-3 at the half. Coming out in the third quarter, you guys were on a roll again.
Yeah, again, good possession by the offense, moved the football, and that's what we need to continue to do, get those first downs and keep the ball moving.
And then the drive stalled. Uvidov, another field goal, 53-yarder, and so you were down 10-6. And then here's a big play in the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter, trying to get back into this thing and tie it up.
Yeah, big catch there by Daniel Thomason, and we need to continue to have those big chunk explosive plays.
And then Barbin scrambling here, and this was the end of the third quarter. You switched sides of the field, start of the fourth quarter, 4th and 2, you're down 7, and you go for it, and you make the first down, but it's called back because of a chop block penalty.
This was critical. I mean, we've got momentum. We're moving the football. We have a chance to go down and tie or take the lead. That was a critical call. Really backs us up and forced us to punt right there.
So a couple of numbers, under 100 yards rushing. I know that's something that you improved on against Northern Arizona, hoping to do the same thing, but that was a stiff defense. You're going up and kind of got pushed off the ball a little bit at times.
Yeah, didn't quite get the running game going the way that we wanted. Reggie and Bronson both made some good runs, and Chris Street and Asa Chapman ran the ball hard. It's just we need to get more movement up front. We need to be more physical just to be able to establish that run game.
You've been better at third down conversions. So it's Saturday, 5 of 13, below where you want to be. So things need to improve this Saturday against Northern Arizona or Northern Iowa.
Exactly. Yeah. Offensively, we need to convert more of those third downs,
yeah.
And defensively, we need more third down stops than what we got against Idaho.
Yeah. Uvidov, the 55-yard field goal, ties a career school record from Connor Brooksby a couple of years ago, and that's obviously his career long. And I think it's the first time in school history that had a kicker hit 2 50-plus field goals in one game.
Exactly. Since we've been a 4-year school, whether it's at the Division II level or Division I, the first time a kicker has had 2 50-plus yard field goals in a game. So, great accomplishment by Ilya.
Okay, so you come out of that game, 20-6 was the final. offense didn't gel like you wanted to, like it did at Northern Arizona in the second half. So what can you take away from that game, knowing that you still had a chance, even though everything wasn't clicking on all cylinders?
Again, I like the fight in our team, the way that we are competing. We are staying in games. Now it's just a matter of improving our execution, offensively, defensively, special teams, and then just, a little bit more effort, a little bit more there just to be able to finish.
Offensive line didn't give up a sack, only 1 sack allowed in 3 games. That's second best in the country in the FCS.
We've done a really good job in protection, whether that's the offensive line, it's the running backs, it's the quarterback getting the ball out, and that's just something we need to continue to build on.
All right, so when you look at the defensive side of the football, first 2 games, you were able to manage the run game pretty well and defend against that, but the Vandals put up 286 yards on you. But a lot of that was just big chunks. You had some big plays that kind of inflated those numbers a little bit.
Yeah, I believe we gave up 7 runs that were 12 yards or more. That's way too many in a game. So we got to be better in our tackling, more sound in our run fits, because that's just too many explosive plays to give up.
And then when you're trying to guard the run, they had to play action, and they got a couple of chunk plays as well. So if we take a look at the highlights, the rest of the time, other than those few chunk plays they got, you played pretty solid.
Yeah, I think there were times in the game, like early on, we tackled well, came out in the second half and tackled well. It's just when we got a little tired, a little wore down, our tackling wasn't quite as reliable as it should have been. So.
You didn't get off the field, you said, on third downs on that opening drive, but here's a couple of third down plays where you forced them into field goal instead of a touchdown, and here's another sack, the 9th of the season so far.
Yes, exactly. We played better red zone defense, and that's what helped us stay in the game, forcing those 4 field goal attempts.
And then Justin Houston right there, picture-perfect DB work, and that forced them in another field goal position.
Yeah, Justin had a really solid game again for us. Has been playing really well this year.
And in Northern Iowa, they like to take deep shots, and you need plays like Devin Perkins
exactly.
there to
this
hustle
week,
across.
Yep, they're going to take shots down the field this week, and that's something we've got to defend against, just like Devin did there.
Okay, so you got a sack in Idaho, 9th sack. That's tied for 6th best in the country. So you are getting the pressure when it's called for.
It is. We're getting some pressure, and I really believe that rush and coverage go together. We've been sound in coverage, holding up in coverage. That's allowed the rush to get there. We've had some guys winning one-on-ones, and that's something we're going to have to continue to do this year.
So is kind of maybe a key to what you want to get across to your guys and have them improve on is just to guard against the chunk plays and the big plays that they've been given up at times?
Yes, I mean we've still given up too many big explosive plays on defense. We got to cut that down, and we need more of those on offense.
Yeah, but when you look back to where you were a year ago to now, Coach, I mean, just the improvement of this team and the excitement level, knowing that you are in the fourth quarter with the ball in your hands and a chance to tie or take the lead.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's definitely an improvement on where we were last year at this time. But the frustrating thing is not being able to convert those things into wins. And that's what we've got to be able to do to just keep building our confidence and momentum, or just being able to find a way to win these football games.
All right, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, a couple of guys who had some pretty good afternoon up in Moscow. That's when the Lance Anderson Coaches Show comes back.
If you haven't seen Utah Tech University lately, chances are you haven't seen it at all. With hands-on polytechnic learning across 300 academic programs, 30 new and renovated state-of-the-art facilities, the most affordable university tuition in the state, and 300 days of sunshine. Why look anywhere else? Discover why Utah Tech was recently named one of Education Magazine's 10 prominent universities and colleges to watch. Join us and experience the active learning, active life difference at Utah Tech.
55-yard field goal attempt, Ilya Uvedov. The kick is up, and it is no signal yet. Still waiting. No good. How can they call that no good? And what is going on? But they finally got it right.
Yeah, that was Ilya Uvedov right here joining us now, the 55-yard field goal. Justin Houston, the defensive back as well. We talked about it, Coach, so I want to get your opinion there. Did you see that ball go over the crossbar, Ilya?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the most flush hit I've ever hit in my life, but You know, it was up, it was going, and I did see it go in, and you know, I was looking at some of the pictures from after the game that Brooklyn took, and you could see the entire sideline. Everyone's like hands in the air, everyone's confused, but you know, I'm so thankful for booth review.
Exactly, and I guess every scoring play is reviewable, right, Coach?
Yes.
Even a field goal. So it's a good thing that happened. But to welcome your debut for both of you on the Lance Anderson Coaches Show. So Justin Houston, defensive back, senior. Just talk about the defense up there. You talked about it previously, the red zone defense. You guys maybe bend a little bit, but when it came down in the red zone, you guys stiffened up.
Yes, sir. Bend don't break. We had opportunities last week to get off the field, and this week we did improve on it, but we still need to get them out the red zone. We need the fewer red zone opportunities.
So I got to ask you, that opening drive, 8 minutes and 18 seconds they had the ball from the opening kickoff until you guys forced them into a field goal, which they missed. What was that like, just going there? And they were just methodically, you know, no big plays, just 3 or 4 yards and a cloud of dust if they'd had a dirt field.
It's honestly hard. It's really hard, but we'll rather that than they get a 50-yard bomb on us. But we have 4th downs in there that we just need to take advantage of.
Yeah. So let's talk about both questions for you. You guys have been in every game against top 20 teams. What's the psyche of this team right now? Justin, we'll start with you, knowing that you were right there and you had a chance to win all 3 games.
That we have an opportunity, that the talent that we have here is enough, that we got all we need, and that's all we need.
Yeah. Ilya?
Yeah, I mean, we've been there for 3 weeks straight, and we'll continue to be there. It's just making sure that we start hot, we continue to be hot, and we make sure we finish hot. And just that's all in the preparation, how we practice, how we do our meetings, lifts, everything. Just.
So a school record, you tied Connor Brooksby, who you backed up a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Just talk about waiting for your time and your moment and taking advantage of it.
I mean, yeah, it was a long wait. I played as a freshman. I only did kickoffs. I ended up getting benched that year. I was hurt my sophomore year, and then once Coach Anderson came in, he was super big on developing what we had here and gave me a shot in the spring, earned my keep there, and then from that point on, it was just experience, like learning throughout all of last season, where I didn't start super hot, but finished terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that 53-yarder against Southern Utah, that was a big one. Yeah. And you know, just building off of like what I'd done before and just making sure I'm improving every single day.
Yeah. So, you're 4 for 4, by the way, this year. Coach, you come in. He's kind of the heir apparent to Connor Brooksby, who is one of the best field goal kickers in Trailblazer history. What did you see in him that allowed you to say, okay, it's in your hands, go get it?
Yeah, I was impressed watching the film from Ilya's freshman year where he had some kickoffs. Like you could see he had a strong leg, he had some ability. And I was just impressed as we went through that very first spring, how we just kept getting better and better. And then like Ilya mentioned, we saw the same thing last year, just continue to improve as the year went on. We get to Southern Utah where we have a chance for a 53-yard field goal to send it to overtime. He converts that, and that's a big kick, and he's just gotten better and better ever since.
Kind of like that clutch mentality from your kicker, right?
Definitely. And the thing that people overlooked a little bit last week, there's the 250-plus yard field goals, but every kickoff was deep into the end zone and not returnable.
Yeah.
That's pretty big too.
And Justin, as a defensive guy, you love, to get your team off the field and then having your kicker, confidence in your kicker, knowing that he's going to get some points on the board for you.
Yes, sir. Love that. The first time Ilya, I heard his voice on kickoff, he had a deep voice. I'm like, oh, he's confident. He's a real confident guy, so I love to see that.
All right, so let's talk about you. You transferred from Fresno State, and the quarterback for Idaho was your teammate last year, right? Yeah. How was that little reunion?
It was a good little reunion. We're both competitive guys that I want to win, but unfortunately we didn't get that win. But we both had opportunities outside of Fresno State that we want to show people, and we obviously have the opportunity now.
Okay, so what led you here to Utah Tech from Fresno State?
Utah Tech, from Twitter, I got an email from Coach Clark at the time, and Coach Clark said he was excited, and I had an opportunity to come here, and I felt like that was the best decision for me, that I would be able to play here.
Yeah, and Coach, you got to love a guy 6'2", 6'3", around 200 pounds. We have some big DBs all across the board, and he's leading the charge.
Yeah, I mean, you love the size and the length that Justin has. And the other thing with Justin is a very smart football player. Great football IQ. We put a lot on his plate in terms of a lot of the calls and adjustments in the secondary, and he's handled that really well.
Yeah, and technically, when you look at that play there on the goal line that you knocked that away, just, you got down in good position. And that was a running back. That's tough for a safety and DB like yourself to cover a running back like that. But right there, you can see that you've got some pretty good technique. So talk about, just building your game and what you want to bring here throughout the remainder of the season.
I want to bring leadership, playmaking, just making as many plays as I can. That play right there, I just trusted my technique. I understood what we was in and where my leverage was at, so I was able to make a play there.
Okay. All right, so we look ahead to Northern Iowa on Saturday, guys. You're 0-3 right now, but you've been in every game. Now you're home. Northern Iowa's 2-1, coming off a win over Eastern Washington, a Big Sky team last week. You've looked at a little bit of tape. Justin, they love to go deep. They love to throw it downfield. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on you.
Mm-hmm. I love the pressure. If they throw the ball deep, I get an opportunity to make a play. So I want them to throw the ball deep. That's my mindset.
Yeah, and Ilya, when you come back, we talked about this when the Jacksonville Jaguars kicker hit a 70-yard field goal in preseason. I asked if you could kick that.
I mean, yeah, there was I don't know if you guys remember, it was a couple of weeks ago. It was a really windy day here, and I was kicking into the wind to start off, and I hit one from like 50, went in. I was like, I'm feeling pretty good. I turned around, nailed one from 70 first try, but didn't get it on camera, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. We weren't there yet. Coach, how confident are you? Where do you draw the line on him? Do you ask him, say, how you feeling?
I usually like to ask Ilya or get an idea pre-game from Ilya or Coach Brumfield of like, okay, what does Ilya feel comfortable with today? Taking into account if there is a wind or not. But yeah, I've got a lot of confidence in him.
So take away that wind, David. What's the longest field goal you've ever hit in just normal circumstances?
Normal circumstances is a 65.
That's bordering right there on the limit, huh?
Yeah, that's
that's pretty good range.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right. Okay, Justin, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, and let's get to know you a little better.
I grew up in Carson, California. I was pretty much there my whole life until I graduated and went to Fresno State. I have an older brother, a little brother, and an older sister. My older brother played at USC. He was my role model, and I just want to be that role model for my little brother now.
And he played linebacker at USC, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so what did you take from his experience? Did he kind of help you in the process of becoming a college football player?
Yeah, he gave me a lot of tools and tricks of the college world. He told me what to expect, what to really do. But the big thing about my brother was he always had his head down and he was grinding. So that was the biggest thing I ever got from it, was that no matter what you say, you just have to keep grinding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ilya?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Gilbert, Arizona. I am a first-generation American. Both of my parents came here from the Soviet Union. And I have an older sister and then 2 younger sisters as well.
And now, speaking of that, we call you the Russian Rocket.
Yeah, that's a name I've heard ever since I started playing football in high school.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's where it started?
That's where it started.
Okay. And what possessed you to make the move and come to Utah Tech?
So I remember I came here on a game day visit against, it was Weber State. It was September 11th, 2021, I believe. And yeah, I just fell in love with the city, fell in love with the school. Everything it felt like home away from home. And I was sad when I was flying back home because I just didn't want to leave, and I was like, this is where I want to be.
Oh, cool. All right, he's got a nickname, Russian Rocket. Do you have a nickname?
No, I don't. People usually just call me Justin or Jay Houston, but that's really much it.
Jay Houston, all right, we'll come up with something. Coach?
We'll work on it.
We got to come up with something. All right, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll look ahead to Saturday night, 6 o'clock, Greater Zion Stadium. The Panthers of Northern Iowa coming to town.
If you haven't seen Utah Tech University lately, chances are you haven't seen it at all. With hands-on polytechnic learning across 300 academic programs, 30 new and renovated state-of-the-art facilities, the most affordable university tuition in the state, and 300 days of sunshine. Why look anywhere else? Discover why Utah Tech was recently named one of Education Magazine's 10 prominent universities and colleges to watch. Join us and experience the active learning, active life difference at Utah Tech.
All right, back here on the Lance Anderson Coaches Show. Looking forward to Saturday night, 6 o'clock, Greater Zion Stadium. Utah Tech taking on the Panthers of Northern Iowa. Coach, you looked a little bit of tape and a little scouting report. What about the Panthers? They're 2-1. They lost at Wyoming, and they beat Butler at home, and they beat Eastern Washington at home last week.
The thing that stands out to me is they are a big physical football team. You thought the University of Idaho's offensive line was bigger. They might even be bigger than Idaho, especially interior. Two really big tight ends, 6'6", 280, and 6'5", 265.
And they love to throw it deep.
Yeah, they'll run the football and then they will take shots down the field. And then they're very solid defensively as well, big and physical.
Yeah, Justin, that's on you right there, right?
Yeah, it should be on me. They run the ball a lot, and they will take shots. They like to play with your eyes. You know, everything that we've seen today, that we have enough in this room to get it done.
And, Coach, you talked about their size and their strength on defense. This is one of the guys right there. He had a couple of sacks last week.
Yeah, they're very sound defensively, big physical unit. So just like last week where we really had a tough physical game, we need to be prepared for the same thing this week as well.
Okay, so a 55-yard field goal last week. School record, 56 this Saturday.
Whatever the universe gives me, I'll kick at it.
All right, so Coach, what do you want to see out of your guys this week?
You know, we need to see that continual fight, and now we need to see a jump in execution and effort so that we can turn that into a win. We need that to be able to maintain our confidence and pushing forward. So we got to find a way to finish this week.
Yeah. And Justin Houston, what do you want to see out of your defensive backs, but as a team a whole and a leader of that defensive unit?
It's about the little things. We need to take care of the communication part, effort to the ball, and just making plays. We have it all in the room, like I said. We just need to put it together as one.
And Ilya, this is a non-top 20 team. What's it like coming back home after 2 weeks out on the road for you?
I mean, I feel like the preparation's got to stay the same. I don't think the opponent has too much about what we do as a team, or like even position-wise. And, you know, being a kicker, it's a lot more mental than it is physical. Yeah. It's the same blueprint every single week, just making sure I'm going back to the fundamentals, like making sure my mind's right come Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Coach, play more physical, don't get pushed off the ball, and finish, right?
Yep, we got to play hard, and we do that. We're gonna have a chance again.
Well, you guys played hard every game.
We got to keep doing it.
Giving yourself a chance this Saturday. Time to just jump over that mound and celebrate the W.
That's exactly right.
All right, Justin Houston, thanks for coming in. Ilya Uvaidov, thanks for coming in. And we'll see you Saturday night, the tailgate party at Innovation Plaza across from the stadium. Will begin at 4 o'clock. Pregame on Trailblazer Sports Vision and the Fan Sports Radio Network begins at 5, kickoff at 6. We'll see you Saturday night, guys.